Good evening, everybody. Welcome to BS Session 68. 'Twas the night, more or less, before Christmas. We're all through the house. Not a creature was stirring. Well, my frickin' house renovations still aren't done.
This right here has the ability with a 30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS, Ballistically Speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.
I'm here. Oh, it did come back.
What came back?
Oh, it just seemed like the intro was over, but it wasn't switching back to the live feed.
Oh, you always have problems.
How's it going tonight, Chris?
Now here's how I could tell social media is lying to us. We've had 3 people comment since the show started, but the live viewer counter doesn't even say we have 3 people watching.
Yeah, it says 2. Yeah.
What a lying piece of crap, that thing, huh?
Yes. I would write a letter if I were you.
I should.
I have more paint on my arms, I think, than I got on my ceiling today.
Well, you're having some troubles. I can tell that.
Oh my God, man! Like I was saying earlier, I think I would rather have dental work done than paint and mud and everything that's involved in that shit.
You don't like watching paint dry?
I don't mind watching it dry. I cannot handle applying that shit because I'm that guy that, I'll throw some paint on, and I mean, aside from the fact that it gets everywhere else, but on that spot that I want to get it on,
Yeah,
and then go, why the fuck is that there? What, like, there's shit balling up, and it's just a mess, and it's gonna bug me. I need counseling or something.
it sounds like you're just a shitty painter.
Yeah, okay, I think we can all acknowledge that. Anybody that knows me, I'm not. Listen, I am much more a hammer than I am a scalpel. If you know what I'm saying, right? Give me steel any day. I can work with that. Paint and shit that you only ever want to do once, that you look at every fucking day. Not this guy.
We're 2 minutes and 55 seconds in, and you said the F word, so we're going to get demonetized.
Excellent. Sorry.
I think we might see. Here's what's interesting: of our last 4 episodes, 2 of them have been demonetized, and I've had it reviewed by YouTube, and it upheld on both of them. It upheld the demonetization, and I think what happens when these little yuppies punks review your episode, they listen to like the first couple of minutes or the first 5 minutes, maybe the first 10 minutes. And if it identifies that there's something against the policies, like a swear word, then they'll demonetize you. But we've had other episodes where somebody doesn't swear until like an hour or so into the show, and it gets monetized. So,
well, because they're probably millennials at most reviewing those things, and they have an attention span of 3 minutes.
So not only have we sweared in the first 4 minutes of the show, but we're trash talking the people who control our monetization. We're getting
we're so fuck dumb. Those guys.
We're so dumb.
Fuck them twice.
And with that, they ensured that they would forever be demonetized.
Yeah. So my wonderful little girlfriend, I always call her my little girl. I suppose I should maybe stop that, at least publicly.
Yep.
But she's 4'11", and she's 47 years old now. She got me this cup, and I think, well, clearly she knows me. So on the one side, it says, "I don't need anger management. You need to stop pissing me off." And on the other side, quite appropriately, is this.
What is that?
This woman
Don't
Nose
say it
and
out
loves
loud.
me.
We'll get demonetized. Okay, it's after 5 minutes. Now you can swear.
Okay, well, fuck me twice.
Okay. So Uke says that the mods and the algorithm look at from the first 30 seconds to 5 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense. Now Jens had a very
We're
apt
committed.
comment in response to your renovation woes. Who
Well,
renovates at Christmas?
First of all, it's not Christmas. Second of all, it's a wasted working day. Third of all, apparently nobody else, because I don't see anybody putting up hands to come paint my goddamn kitchen.
At this point, I feel like I need to point out that we started this show by saying it's the days sort of before Christmas, and then you said it's not fucking Christmas.
Well, it's a couple of days ish before.
Okay.
I got to check my heart rate.
You should check your heart rate. You seem a little upset about the whole situation.
It's how does that saying go? The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. It feels like that.
No, nobody says that. That's not proper English.
Totally fabricated by Rooster.
It might not be, but it's not fabricated by people with the command of the English language either.
Tell me it doesn't make sense though. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get.
I completely understood what you were saying. But that doesn't make it mean that doesn't make it means in English. That doesn't mean it makes English. So the problem agrees with you. He says that it's the best time for renos, winters with no snow for skiing and time off work.
Yeah.
What? Winter with no snow
time
for
off
skiing.
work.
Oh, I gotcha. And time off work. Yeah, I wish I was getting a bunch of time off work. Not so much though.
So I was at Home Depot today picking up a few things and sorry.
I was just gonna say, are we going to ignore that Kazi agreed or volunteered to come and paint your house and then called you handsome?
Oh, shucks, that son of a gun. I'll believe it when I see it.
He just wants you to take him shooting and frolicking through a field with him while holding hands and humming the Care Bears theme song.
I'll tell you what. We get this reno stuff done. I will take him doing all the frolicking he pleases.
Careful how you word that.
Well, you know what? I'm at the point where I don't care.
This episode is I don't know what's wrong with us tonight.
Yeah.
But, it hasn't even started on the rails. Should we pay some bills?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do
All right. This episode, as with every episode, is brought to you once again by EM Precision Rifles in Leduc, Alberta, building Canada's finest precision rifles. Commission a build today at emprifles.ca. And Chris, I just want to say that I finally paid a little bit of attention to our show notes here and made some changes. So completely off of memory.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Also, we are brought to you by Bolt Action Coffee, bringing specialty coffee to the precision shooting world. Order coffee and merchandise at boltactioncoffee.com.
That's not one of the ones I changed. So you're doing good. Keep it up, sport.
Okay. Oh, you want me to do the next one too?
No, I got it.
Oh, okay.
Call sign 66, Canada's best rifle training. Welcome to the Brotherhood. Book a course now at callsign66.ca.
And Odell Engineering. Pick up a Canuck shotgun or a Bergera rifle from your local distributor and tell them Phil sent you. Look them up at odellengineeringltd.com.
And Apex Optics. When you buy Apex, precision comes standard. Check out all the fine competition rifle scopes and binoculars at apexoptics.co.
And Ribstone Gunsmithing, craftsmanship done right. Contact Oscar at ribstonegunsmithing.ca and breathe life back into any firearm.
The Shooting Edge in Calgary, Alberta, home of the Sterling Arms R18 and indoor range. training courses, and a new 6-lane axe throwing bay, and the One Shot One Spill Cafe. Find them on
Nachos.
Facebook, Instagram. No, and sorry, and the nachos that Chris raves about. Yes, everybody should go to Calgary to the Shooting Edge and experience the nachos and get your axe throwing thing on the film board stuff going. Yeah, Instagram, YouTube, X, and their website at shootingedge.com. Theshootingedge.com.
Theshootingedge.com.
Rambling.
Okay. And March Scopes Canada. The Dion Optical Design line of rifle scopes has a scope for all your hunting and shooting needs. Find Doug and Nisa at marchscopes.ca.
You know what's funny? After I warned you that I changed some things,
Mhm.
every one of the things the sponsor reads that I changed,
Mhm.
I read. Yours were all the same.
That's okay. It's probably better that way because I didn't have a chance to go over it beforehand, and I'm not good on my feet.
You didn't have to rehearse.
I have to rehearse literally everything in my life.
No, okay.
I'm not a
one
a
more
spontaneous person.
No, you're not. Hey,
No,
I think you do quite well that way.
no.
Just one more special acknowledgement for the Lloydminster Gun and Sportsman Show, January 20th and 21st. We'll continue letting you folks know about that until we head off to SHOT Show in Vegas on the 21st of January. After that, you're on your own. But vendors, anybody who's interested in getting a table there at the Lloydminster Gun and Sportsman Show, can contact them at lloydfishandgame.org/contact. That's Lloyd, 2 L's, lloydfishandgame.org/contact.
Mm-hmm. So, Mike,
Derek, Rooster's got something on the brain. Fuck, you're not kidding, man. It's likely a worm of some sort.
Hey, Derek, have you got your knife yet?
And knife.
Also, thanks for the shout out that you gave us. Yeah. Anyway, Mike, he thought that this was the Ballistically Speaking last minute holiday gift giving episode.
Gift guide episode. Well,
yeah.
Get a knife. Get a
a
shotgun.
Are you a dumb son of a bitch and hasn't got any gifts yet? Well, I know a knife company that just started up and they're really eager to ship things out. I got an order this afternoon from somebody. I had that bitch shipped out today already. How about that? In fact, I went and dropped.
Was that Alberta Rob?
It was Alberta Rob. Yeah. I went and dropped it off.
My boy Blue.
My boy Blue. There's a local. He chose Canada Post shipping, so there's a local Canada Post drop off a couple blocks from my business. So I went there. I drop it off. As I'm pulling away from the drop off, the Canada Post truck is pulling up to pick it up. Like the timing could not have been.
Oh, really?
Perfect. Yeah,
that's funny.
So hopefully he'll get that. I don't know if he'll get it before Christmas, but hopefully he'll get it very soon after. Derek says his knife is on his work/reloading bench with him right now. Sweet. I hope you like it.
Meow.
Right meow. I hope he likes it.
That's good. That's good. Bueno. Excuse me.
Did Boom Country say he's been to Kenosi? I don't know if you brag about that. That's not.
Well,
I mean,
it looks more like Canos. That's maybe that's an obscure little town in southwestern Alberta.
It's on the outskirts.
It's only one way out.
One way out.
Yeah, been to Canos once. Do you remember that old movie, Johnny Dangerously?
I do remember Johnny Dangerously.
Oh my God. My father did that to me once.
Never hang me on a hook. My mother hung me on a hook once. What that was
summon a bitch.
Summon them batch. That was Michael Keaton and who was it that don't hang me on a hook, Johnny? That was what the hell's his name? God, man. He was on Saturday Night Live in the 70s. God, that's a movie I got to watch again. What a great film that
No
was.
kidding, hey. You Fargan ice holes.
Yeah, Fargon ice holes. Oh man. Oh, such great one-liners. You know, there was a series in the 80s and into the 90s of slapstick comedy movies that were just absolute gold. There was Airplane, there was Johnny Dangerously, Spaceballs, History of the World, Hot Shots Part Deux, Naked Gun.
Airplane, yeah, that.
Yeah, Airplane. No, I'm dead serious, and don't
I
call
have
me
clearance,
Shooter.
Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our Victor, Victor?
What's our vector, Victor?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great.
Or have you ever been to a Turkish prison, Billy? Why, yes, I
What
have.
what is you saying about the knives? Those knives ain't cheap, not expensive either, but $5, sir. This is a Wendy's. I don't know what that means. Well, all those words are words, but together in that sentence, they just don't make any sense. Oh, and Boom Country said he was snowmobiling in Kenosi or Canos.
Bubbling.
Yeah, I can see him doing that. That makes it. Joe Piscopo. Don't hang me on a hook, Johnny. My mother hung me on a hook
did
once.
that to me once.
What is it? Is it
stuff.
like? I'm trying to remember the other one that was like there was "Don't slap me in the face" or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
I'm reaching way back in the annals of my mind for that one.
So Derek says he's digging the knife so far. It's passed the ultimate test for a good knife. Finally chopping garlic. Now, what is it with these people? We come up with this like this highly tuned, high quality knife for people to have.
Now don't discourage it may be a survival thing that he's going through right now. He may be out deep in the bush chopping garlic.
I totally get that, and I'm actually okay with it. But I had another customer was talking to me the other day, talking about how his knife passed the ultimate test on a filet mignon.
It slices, dices.
It's like you have this like awesome outdoor and field craft knife, and everybody's like, "Oh, this looks like a steak knife. Let's use it for food."
Yeah. I'm just gonna grind in a few serrations here, make it a full-on steak knife.
Oh, Mike's got
it's just
two
like
more
those
great slapstick movies from the 80s.
Oh,
Blazing Saddles and Top Secret. Man, Top Secret was a good movie. Chocolate Mousse.
Don't recall. Top Secret at all.
There was the big tough bruiser of a black Frenchman that was part of the French underground resistance. His name was Chocolate Mousse. And what was the music video that Val Kilmer skeet shooting? It was like a Beach Boys ripoff, but they were it was like a surfing song. They were surfing and skeet shooting at the same time.
No kidding.
Yeah, great film. Great film.
That is funny. When did the Naked Gun movies come out? That was
I think the first 90s? One probably was like late 80s or maybe early 90s.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's put it this way. It was before OJ was driving around in a white Bronco all over the news.
It's funny. Yeah, otherwise it would have been in there for sure.
Yeah, exactly. What was when they were all hypnotized in what was the line that they said? Must kill.
Oh yeah. Crap. All I remember is nice beaver, and she comes down the ladder and she's holding this beaver. Thanks, I just had it stuffed.
Oh, what a great line. You know what? That's it. Over Christmas, I'm watching all those. I'm watching Top Secret.
Yep. It's got to be a binge.
Absolutely. I might even throw some Monty Python in there just for gits and shiggles.
And before I left work last week, we had a very similar type conversation about it was just endless Ace Ventura one-liners that came up. We're like, man, I gotta watch that.
Oh, Ace Ventura, what a great movie. It sounds broken.
Absolutely.
Most likely, sir. I'm sure it was something nice, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know the way Chutus were biters.
The second one. I got to say, the second one was not as good as the first one, but it was still hilarious.
No, but it was still pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
Bone, it's in the bone.
It's in the bone. He said she's not a virgin. They can tell that? In case anybody was wondering,
Vinsu Orcha.
Bumblebee tuna.
Yeah, right.
In case anybody was wondering, we had no plan for our Christmas episode.
Zero.
That's why we're 20 minutes in and we're just talking about absolute nonsense. Best line.
Alone.
Mike Hynek says,
I've been alone for several days in a row, and it just all coming out. I've looked at drywall, mud, and tape and paint now, and yeah, I'm having a break.
You're just craving
like
the human
break.
Contact at this point.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
So, Mike Hynek says, best line from Top Secret. If you don't get out of here, your life will be more worthless than a truckload of dead rats in a tampon factory. I don't even remember that line. What was that? Omar Sharif was in that movie.
Ray Finkel, yes.
Laces out.
Omar Sharif, what?
No, I was just saying Omar Sharif was in Top Secret. But like Omar Sharif was like a big serious actor, and he was in Top Secret. Anyway, yeah, laces out.
That's funny. Laces out is right. Yeah,
it's cozy if you're Hannibal Lecter.
Einhorn and Finkel.
Finkel is Einhorn. That is a scene that would not play in today's day and age.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, so glorious.
Well, I have kissed a man. Oh, so great. Spud loves the rhino scene. The rhino scene it's just the first time you watch it, it was absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Every time ever since then, I've just wanted to fast forward it. But the first time, it cracked me up like mad.
Warm.
It will kill in Doug Mercada voice is mandatory for christening any knife. I don't know.
What yeah.
What line is that?
And the what's that reality show or whatever they make knives and all that, swords and whatever else, right? And then they test them and put them through.
Doug Mercada is that Filipino knife fighting guy, isn't he? The knife expert.
Yes.
The guy who did all those videos about the 25-foot rule.
Oh, I have no idea. Forged in Fire. That's
Forged in Fire.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks for saving us all that pain.
Oh, and Spud just 3 seconds later. Ryan Piper, Derek just 2 seconds after that.
Hey, let's see. All 4 people watching this show right now piped up just now.
It was like watching horse racing. We should like start taking bets with this sort of stuff to see who can type the fastest.
Well, we got Piper out in the lead.
Yeah. And here comes Spud 76 coming up the rear. What?
Sure. Whoa, that's easy now.
I ruined it.
Yeah, C11. We're gonna get cut off here.
Oh, we got to see.
Unless we're advocates for that sort of thing.
No, it's okay because we've met our Canadian content because we were talking about Kenosi.
Canos.
We are clearly a Canadian podcast. We meet Bill C11 standards and go fuck your hat.
I just like to take a moment out of our regularly scheduled programming and acknowledge Jens sitting in there in his comfortable painted home. Rooster, I have a lot of case prepping for you to do if you're bored. LO. Well, Jens, you know I love you. And this is hard to say, but I'm gonna anyway. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and check your privilege with your painted home
Check your painted privilege.
and your
It's probably
sealed
painted
roof.
white too. You racist son of a bitch.
You had to go there. I don't need anger
Of
management.
course I did. Like, why not go full retard?
You know, Mike makes a very good point. Let's talk about the Duria 22 lever gun.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So, okay. What?
Thanks for being the referee, Mike.
Yeah. So I'm I'm coming up with it. What a cool idea.
I never knew about it at all.
When you think about it logically, it's terrible.
That's hard for me to do. Okay.
Why? It's just why? When you think they already have a semi-automatic version of it out. So why a lever action? I have an answer.
Okay, so why any lever action?
Well, and that's exactly because it's cool. That's
exactly why. What little boy on planet Earth does not want a lever action rifle?
Exactly. And the best part is that it takes the same magazines as the TM22 semi-auto.
Oh, it does? That makes a lot of sense.
That's why it's a TM22 lever.
Kudos, Odell Engineering. Thank you very much for being smart and practical.
And the cool thing is, so I bought a TM22 many moons ago, and I will have a TM22 lever gun in my hands one way or another sometime in the near future. And I will have 2 extra magazines just by buying the lever gun version.
Son of a gun. That sounds like a win to me, folks.
Isn't that just hot poop?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out.
Ryan Piper says lever purists are crying everywhere. And I don't.
You know what?
Yeah. And
with the tube. It's the tube.
The tube. He's already dead. So here's my thing. I am not at all interested in the walnut stock. If I'm going to get a wood stock lever gun, it's going to be an old school lever gun.
Yeah.
But I am all about bastardizing like synthetic stock, new age, tactical looking lever guns all over it. 100%.
Yeah.
Not to mention that the synthetic stock version has front and rear sling swivels that the walnut appears not to have. And it has a adjustable cheek riser, which the walnut appears not to have. And given that I am most definitely putting a little red dot sight on that, I'm probably going to want the cheek riser.
You and Vanya, hey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, Vanya's talking about putting a little RMR on it. I don't have an RMR. What I actually have is a nice chonky boy Strike Force 2 for Vortex. It's a big chonky boy red green dot. I might just like slap that up on top of there just to see how many people I can piss off. And I'm never ever
red green dot. Like, does it come with duct tape?
It should, but it doesn't. But it's
Come on,
quite
Vortex Canada.
It's quite a high. What's that called? Sight over bore. Is that
sure?
Am I saying that right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a high sight over bore. So I'm going to need the cheek riser for sure. And I'm not going to use the 10 round mags at all. Only the 25 round mags.
Do it.
It's going to look so tactical. Height over bore. Thank you. God.
Send
I knew sight over bore.
A selfie with it to Trudeau.
No. I'm going to send a selfie with it on all the purist lever action forums. I'm going to join all the lever action forums, and I'm going to take so many Gucci photos with the 25 round mag and this big chunky red dot on it. It's going to be so cool. I'm going to piss off so many people. I'm going to have to buy.
We got to fabricate. We got to fabricate a night vision bridge for that sucker too.
Yeah. And you know what? It comes with a threaded. This new lever, the TM22 lever, it comes with a threaded barrel, just like the regular TM22 does.
No. Yeah. Oh,
So,
you know what would be tits on that sucker?
I'm going to put a fake can on it. I don't even care. I'm putting a fake can on it.
Oh no! Better yet, yeah. You know that's not nearly as what do you say, out there as you could get. You know the big honking
Brakes?
the brake that Cadex makes.
Yeah.
Those big kind of triangular looking things.
Yeah.
Do that.
The shield brakes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That would be so cool. I'm gonna do
Bud
that.
heads will be exploding all across Canada.
Now here's my only problem is I had that up before. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up again and share my screen. I had a nice close up of the threaded barrel. Yeah, here we go. Let me share this. Wouldn't it be nice if things were easier to do, or if we had a lackey to do this sort of stuff for us?
What?
Okay,
you know
you
what
see
we
that?
should get one of those systems like they have on NCIS or whatever, and they're doing these things and getting screens out of the way and zoom, shit like that. I think we should get that software, Chris. Yeah,
I agree with that. Now here's the only problem. You see this fake magazine tube?
That's a weight forwarding device.
Agreed. Okay, but it is the same length as the barrel. How in the fuck am I going to screw anything onto that barrel?
How have you made it through life as an adult male so far? I'm just curious.
Well, you tell me how you tell me how you would screw a big chunky shield brake onto that that barrel.
Oh man, listen, get an 18 tooth per inch hacksaw blade and a couple of band-aids and maybe a few pieces of Kleenex, and just cut that fucking tube off and spin your big ass brake on there. Like, if you're committed, you're gonna do it.
You and Jens had the exact same idea.
Brother from another mother and country, continent, whatever.
You have to admit, though, that does seem like a little bit of an oversight to have that fake ass thing the same length.
Maybe they intended to, maybe, just maybe, since they announced the release of this particular rifle, maybe they're coming out with some sort of diminutive, that's hard for me to say right now, muzzle brake type thingy for it.
What?
that is that small that you wouldn't need to bother with that tube at all, because the diameter of the muzzle brake or muzzle dressing of whatever sort. See, I think you're lying.
No. Well, I just noticed this. This is the photos from Odell Engineering's page, and the magazine tube is shorter than the muzzle brake, just shorter than the muzzle brake. So once again,
in Dremel we trust.
In Dremel. But leave it to Odell Engineering to think about all of the potential problems, because it looks like this is already solved.
There you go. Solved before it even became a problem.
Yeah.
That's OdellEngineeringLTD.com.
I like all of the suggestions that just came out of the woodwork here. We've got with a hacksaw, in Dremel we trust, pipe cutter, angle grinder, and hope a solvent catch doesn't happen to screw onto the end of the barrel after. And they, okay. People. So let's talk about this for a quick sec. And then we can go back to the lever action again. But Spud's mentioning that he watched an RPG-7 blow up in a dude's face on YouTube. I saw the aftermath of that. The guy had like his arms are all bandaged up. Apparently he had an actual RPG-7 blow up in his face. I don't even know how that happens.
I don't either. What is an RPG-7? I know what an RPG is. I think
it's your typical looking Russian
rocket propelled
RPG.
grenade. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Whenever you see one being fired by like Afghanis or Russians, it's usually an RPG
out
7.
of the back of a Toyota. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the RPG 7.
Okay.
Yeah, slow-mo guys.
Groovy.
That's who it was. Yeah. Apparently they've taken the footage of the actual blow up. They've blurred it out on their YouTube page, so I didn't really watch the video. But it's a hell of a thing.
You know what's kind of amazing to me that like I'm just thinking about how you hold an RPG, bullpup rifles, and shotguns for that matter.
Mhm.
I mean, we've all seen all sorts of rifles come apart in that while they're shooting. I don't know that I've ever. I don't know that I recall a bullpup type rifle coming apart on a guy, but like you'd think if that ever happened, that would be pretty spectacular, wouldn't it? Because
I
your bloody action is right here.
It's right at your cheek. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I don't want to be that guy.
Bullpup. No, no, but that's I guess if you really thought about it, it'd take kind of a ballsy sort of fella to overload one of those things anyway.
Well, no, I don't
Never
I
been a
didn't
fan of a bullpup
like
personally.
I say I didn't watch the video, but I don't know what would make an RPG 7 blow up. Like there's not supposed to be pressure built up in there.
I have no idea how they operate,
Well, as far
other
as
than
I understand
kind
it,
of self-contained. But
well, as far as I understand it, the RPG 7 is just an open tube, and you put the RPG in
mhm,
and the trigger ignites the
right,
the grenade,
projectile, whatever. Yeah, yeah,
and then it just fires by rocket out the exhaust port of the tube and
right.
creates thrust
Hence the
and
rocket propelled part.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like for it to blow up, you have to build up pressure in there. Like how does
Well,
that?
it's probably a millennial putting together those rocket propelled grenades that he just thought, nah, this. I'm sure this will be fine.
like just like the slap rounds.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
sure this will be fine. I gotta go. I gotta go for tea at my local coffee shop with my buddies.
they need the views.
Yes, the views.
So Mike says they have a boost charge in the rocket and the main motor fires once it's clear of the operator. Well, clearly not. But I
But
still
are those the ones? So those RPG sevens are those the ones that they kind of are they the ones that are steered by wire? I'm thinking of
no.
those ones
Oh,
that just kind of
that's
go
a tow
boom
rocket.
out.
That's a tow
But
rocket.
give me a second to explain what's in my head. I know there's a lot of mess there, but there's some that come out, they just kind of put out there and then they fire and go.
Mhm.
Which ones are those?
Not RPG sevens. I think there's lots of types that do like you're talking about, but I don't think the
Hmm.
RPG 7 goes quite like that.
Okay, there's what are those ones called that are fly by wire? Like they actually have a wire coming
J-
back, don't they? Javelin?
javelins,
Is that
javelins are.
what it is?
I thought
Mitch Stillborn, you fucking gem.
Kurt's
Merry
talking
Christmas,
the
you poser.
148 javelin missile. So it's the javelin that
Okay.
gives you a little punk and then takes off, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mitch says Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to Mitch and everybody else.
Yeah, beauty.
Yeah.
Hey, that just reminded me. We should get Don Cherry on the podcast just for shits and giggles.
You know, I saw a video of
Yeah,
Don Cherry.
beauty.
I saw a video of
Yeah.
Don Cherry from the 80s where he's being interviewed by this guy on the media and he's complaining about immigrants coming to Canada and taking all our jobs. And I was like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? It was like, is anybody like, yeah, anyway, I thought it was funny. Like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
30
Yep,
plus
for
years
sure.
ago. But anyway, okay.
Next to Banyak Precision, he's a national treasure.
That's right. Agreed. So back to this TM22 lever. What else do we know about it?
Sure.
We know that it's Daria. It's made by Daria. It's TM22s. Did you know that Daria is a Turkish company, but it's owned by IWI out of Israel?
Oh, I had no idea. I thought it was straight turkey.
No, Daria is a division of
No
IWI.
dressing.
No, there's dressing on that turkey. It's kosher dressing.
All right.
Yeah.
Does that mean we got to take a side one way or the other?
Yeah. If well, actually, this is kind of odd, isn't it? Because Turkey being the former seat of the Ottoman Empire,
Right.
You'd be like, well, I guess we're kind of having to take Palestine's side, and then you're like, no, but it's owned by IWI, and like,
But
hey,
wait.
we can actually we can stay neutral by buying Daria firearms. But fuck it, who wants to be neutral?
Yeah, screw that. Let's burn all the bridges everywhere.
Yeah, burn them all, blow them all down with 22 rimfire. RCMP, I'm not actually advocating violence against bridges or any other thing or person.
Oh, good Lord, yeah. As though we needed to say that.
Yeah, but we do.
I'm advocating violence. Anybody that objects can come over here and paint.
Are you sharpening your knife?
I am.
I must have been boring you.
Just in case. No, I'm just fidgety as hell. Haven't taken my medication.
Hey, what else do we know is new that's coming out in the new year? Because the TM22 lever's been announced, but it's not out yet. I've seen multiple owners of major gun retail stores across the country saying that they can't wait to get theirs in, which means that they're not in yet. Now, here's something that's interesting. I'm going to share my screen about this. Okay. I love sharing my screen. It's my favorite thing. Check this out. This is Tenda, gotenda.com. You see what that says there?
Yeah.
Now, here's my question.
That's interesting. Okay, so hit add to cart. Seriously.
Oh, I'm sure it'll let me buy it.
Yeah. And then delivery is what?
Well, okay, let's check. I hope it doesn't.
Delivery unknown.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll make you jump through all the hoops.
Yeah, I'm not going through that nonsense.
No. Oh, yeah. What's your credit card number there? Sorry.
It's star. Yeah, that's
son of a gun.
That's all nonsense. I don't think that Tenda has this in stock. I don't think that they do. I think what they're doing is they're trying to scoop everybody, and they're taking pre-orders without. Although this does not say at all. The magazine is made of aluminum casting and has a capacity of 10 rounds. But I don't think that's accurate either, because they use plastic mags now. They've switched to the plastic mags. And by the way, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why this says that they're in stock, but it does. Now, here's another thing that's very interesting. This is for the 18-inch walnut stock version, but their photo down here is of the synthetic stock version. I think that they're just trying to...
Seems like they maybe took some liberties with that.
Yeah, I think this is a pre-order. It's got to be a pre-order.
Yeah.
So the barrel... they say the barrel finish is blued. I doubt that.
Why? What do you?
I'm going to say it's nitrided or Cerakoted or something, but I don't think it's going to be blued.
Oh.
The TM22 semi-auto, everything is Cerakoted.
6.2 pounds. Yeah, well, I suppose that'd be pretty close. Yeah,
sure.
Seems a little bit heavy for a little rimfire lever, though.
Well,
Hmm.
the TM22 semi is heavy too, because literally the whole body is aluminum.
Okay.
So maybe this is the same way, and it is pretty over engineered. Like it's intentionally a beefy little unit.
What the hell is that sucker hanging off the side there? Looks like there's a in behind the mag. Is
This
that
here,
a like a safety or release or something? Must be a mag
I'm
release.
I'm willing to bet that's your mag release. The semi-auto has a push button mag release on the magazine well, and obviously
Okay.
this doesn't have the same type of magazine well, so I'll bet you that's a lever
Hmm.
magazine release,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool actually. That's pretty neat.
Hmm. You know, it's
Let me
funny.
just
I
see if I
used to
can.
be back when I was a young guy, like 48 years ago. I used to I used to have that feeling that firearms, deserved good firearms deserved a good wood stock and all that kind of business. Not necessarily a purist, but traditional kind of firearms sort of guy, right?
Hmm, hmm.
And it's funny. It's a weird thing because all my life I thought that I should have a lever action, at least a 30-30 or something.
Hmm.
45-70's been in my heart for a long time. I know several guys with them. I figure I should have one at some point, but for the last, oh God, 15 or maybe more years, I've been so focused on precision rifles
Hmm.
that I just never revisited the whole lever action thing. But
Hmm.
lately, like for the past 2 years or so, what is it? Something Iron Pig or Crazy Hog or some goddamn thing, someplace in the states is fire is
Oh,
modifying these
yeah,
the Marlin lever actions and
and
Henrys, I
Henry's.
think.
Yeah,
Um, and they're these tactical looking 45-70s and all sorts, and they just look friggin' awesome. And I want one so bad.
I
But
actually
I
am
just
there
have
with you.
I have a
It's
problem with spending 2,500 US on a goddamn lever gun.
yeah,
I
that is
want one, and I would trade one of my precision rifles for one, I think. But anyway,
a
it's
couple of
it's
different
funny how
companies that are
how
doing that.
things evolve. Yeah. Yep. They probably are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are several.
Uh,
Yeah, the ones being showing up on YouTube all the time is Mad Pig, but there's also Grizzly
Mad
Customs, and
Pig.
there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah, there's a bunch of them. OSS Outfitters, blah blah blah. Yeah, there's a bunch of it. Yeah, Mad Pig is the one that keeps showing up on other people's YouTube
Oh,
channels.
they're awesome. They are friggin' awesome. There's kind
Yeah.
of there's one that they have like a skeletonized buttstock sort of thing.
Hmm.
Makes me a little bit moist. I'm going to be honest right now. Because I'm in a safe place here, right?
No, you're not. I've actually.
Spudman 76 says levers make great bush guns. You know, when I used to guide in the Yukon, I took an old 358 Norma Magnum with me all the time. It was an old Husqvarna, and like, man, that sucker has punch like you wouldn't believe. But there were a couple of guides up there. One of the senior guides always carried a Marlin 45-70, like no optics, just the iron sights. And this guy was deathly scared of bears. And his rationale was, you know what, I can get off 3 shots at least of what were they, probably 500 grain or 450 grain or something slugs out of that thing while that bear's closing in from 100 yards. And I thought, man, there's a lot of logic in that. Yeah, those are sweet as. Joel Anthony
Am I?
says you can buy all the parts to convert a lever gun. The problem is in Canada right now, from what I've seen, you're paying a minimum of $1,700 for a damn 45-70 lever of whatever sort, whether it's a Henry or a Marlin.
Do you see
That
your skeletonized
that's
stock there?
that's kind of ugly. Yeah. Yep. That's kind of ugly just because of the color scheme, but there you go.
Yeah.
That's the one that makes me moist right there.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's another. Why is it skipping around? Quit skipping!
I don't know.
This thing's pissing me off now.
Huh?
It's just making me mad. Hold on. Just gonna
Yeah,
go
Mike's
through.
right. If you can even find a lever gun, that's. Oh, I wonder what the hell that resurgence of interest is all about. Honestly, in this country, that's the one. That one right there, the greenish one that you just passed by 4 slides ago.
That one.
That sucker right there.
That's
That
not
is, yeah,
skeletonized.
that makes my heart kind of flutter a little bit.
That one's not
Yeah,
skeletonized though.
I know, but
I'm
yeah,
trying to like go
whatever.
backwards.
Ever.
They had a really nice one that was skeletonized just
Uh-huh.
at the beginning, and now like it keeps jumping. This website sucks. I'm gonna throw this website in the garbage.
What the heck? I never have a
I'm
problem with
done.
it.
I'm done. I'm
Every
done.
time I opened it late at night when I was in bed, just some
I
alone time.
I give
You
up.
know?
I give up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I've always wanted a lever
Come
gun
on.
in 44 Magnum, because I have a Model
Yeah.
29 Smith and Wesson revolver, and I have
Okay.
all the reloading equipment and everything. I always thought it
Right.
would be cool if you could ever carry handguns in this country for wilderness carry. It'd be cool to have a mare's leg in 44 Magnum, but not with a mare's leg
Guess who
stock.
does?
I know he does. Fuck him. But I don't want the mare's leg stock.
That German prick.
The German. I don't want the mare's leg stock. I want the standard
I know.
buttstock on the mare's leg
Yes.
in 44
Yep.
mag, and then a shoulder holstered, Smith and Wesson 44.
Yeah. Just rolling 44. Yeah.
That's right. I'd be so cool. You have no idea
You know
how
what?
cool I would be.
I'm kind of with you there. And I've encountered shout out to XRO Extreme Range Outfitters in Saskatoon on their auction there. There's been some 44 mag lever action rifles, like full carbine rifles,
Really?
come up on their auction. Oh yeah, they're have from time to time.
In 44.
And in 44 mag, yes. And but they go for way too high. And I said this to Jens. Jens has a mare's leg 44 mag. He says it does amazing things to beavers, which I don't imagine. Nice beaver, thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Well, be careful. Be
With a
careful
44
saying
mag.
that. They are a protected animal, but carry on.
Horse shit. They are not.
I thought they
No
were.
way. No, sir.
Are you sure?
They're cutting down what little trees we have in Saskatchewan.
Oh no, I get it. They're a rodent and they're a pest. I just thought that they were protected.
Yeah. No, they're not. No.
Oh, okay. Well, then
They
fuck
shoot
them.
the shit out of those bastards. Yeah.
Fuck them then.
But you know what? Every time I put a watch on any of the 44 mag lever action carbines that I've seen, they all go for like 1,700-1,800 bucks. So like,
well, you're right.
okay.
Here's a Henry Model X in 410. And keep in mind, this thing is fucking used, and the auction is up to $1,600.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a 410. It's a shotgun.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's
like
amazing.
If I wanted a 410 lever action, I would get a Canuck.
Yeah.
And I sure as shit would not buy a used one for $1,600. Like the person who has the high bid on that right now is a moron.
Shout out to all the morons out there.
Well, I'm sorry, but
thanks for supporting local.
Sometimes you're just stupid.
Well, I don't know. It's that whole want need thing, right?
Yeah. Are you a logical and
that hot crazy
person,
matrix?
or do you let your exactly, or do you let your feelings just run everything?
Oh yeah, I need that.
Here's a Henry Big Boy steel carbine. The bid is currently at $1,500, which is pretty goddamn close to the new cost. A Marlin 1895 SBL for $1,900 current bid. Also pretty much what the new cost is. Like I just don't understand it. I
think Mike a while back said if you can find a lever gun in Canada. And I was just at XRO the other day, and they said the same thing. You know, we've had levers on order for I don't know how long, and they had what the heck was it? Kind of an obscure caliber, anyways. It wasn't a real sought after one on the shelf, but anything in a useful caliber like a 30-30 or a 44 mag or a 45-70 or a 4 good luck finding a 450 Marlin. They were just not to be had at all. So maybe that's what's driving all this.
Maybe,
Mike,
but I mean, come on.
Mike says,
Yeah.
I'm often the moron in some of those auctions. Well, welcome to the herd, Mike. Come on in. The water's warm. You're in good company.
I'm sorry that I insulted you, Mike.
You know, it's funny as shit. When I was there at XRO the other day, I looked in their display cabinets, and there was an 8-pounder of CFE 223.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was for 459 or something like that.
What?
And yes, okay, listen to this though. It was about a year ago. I got a little bit caught up in the moment, and there were two there were two 8-pounders of CFE 223 on the auction that I hadn't seen for quite some time, but it was just prior to that, like a week prior to that. I hadn't been watching. There were other stores that actually got some in, and I paid. It was like $490 or $495 or something like this for each of those two 8-pounders. Now they're like $450, but they're sitting right there.
You haven't.
And then a buddy of mine. No, I haven't opened either of them because I'm waiting for somebody to get a 650 spooled up to start spitting out rounds. Then we can make some 223 ammo.
A 650?
Wink, wink.
What's a 650?
A Dillon 650 that resides at your place.
Oh, it's right there. It's about 90% ready to go.
Right, and I have about 90% of the powder that you need to do that.
Well, you know, the big thing that's holding me back, I've never been very good at buy it cheap, stack it deep. I've never been good at that. Especially since we started this goddamn show, because for the last several years, every dollar I have has been going to new guns so I can review them, or the ammunition to review those guns. Yeah. Every time I buy ammunition, I shoot it off like right away for a review. But anyway, I have no primers is the big thing. And I know you've got primers.
Okay, so I have a few. Okay. I'm just going to say that I have a few.
Before you said that, I just want to shout out Mike got his wilderness carry with a Glock 21 and 10 millimeter. That seems like a good choice.
If he was actually to get one.
Oh, if.
Throw that, okay. Throw that up again.
Yeah, you're right. He says if.
Yeah, Glock 21 and 10 mil with a streamline and aim point acro red dot.
I can't argue with that.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about 10 mil. I know very, very, very little about them.
You know, I have a 9 mil PCC. It's a what the hell is that thing called again? God, I haven't taken it out of my safe in forever. It's
not the Ruger, is it?
I can't remember what the hell you have. It's a little the survival rifle. ASR.
It's not that True North.
Is it called True
TNA?
North? TNA. True North Arms.
Yeah.
Arrow survival rifle.
That's
it. God. Yeah. So it has a quick swab barrel system. Oh, Derek's too late.
He's right on cue though.
He is. Yeah. TNW Arrow.
TNW. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, it has a quick swap barrel on it, and I've often thought about getting it swapped out to 10 mil, but
and that's a 9 mil at TNW, right?
Yeah, what I've got currently it is, but you know, it's never been a high enough priority to spend the money on. But I would really like to see Smith and Wesson with their new takedown carbine to come out with a 10 mil. I would get that in a heartbeat.
So is 10 mil roughly equivalent to 40 cal then? It must be.
From what I understand, 10 mil
out,
is like a, what is it, like a, it's like a 357 Magnum case with a 10 mil bullet or something silly like that. Or
like
it's
10,
not
10 mil
357, it's something
directly
else.
across comes out at 394.
From what I understand, the 40 was came from the 10 mil because of the recoil in the 10 mil.
Okay. I've heard several guys tell me that you don't want a 40 because they're snappy as all hell, tough to control recoil in a handgun.
I thought that was the 10 mil.
I don't know. Okay, Jeff Barron is here. Bending says initially 10 mil is 40 cal Magnum. Jeff Barron comes on. He says 10 mil is a longer 40 Smith and Wesson.
Yeah.
So basically a 40, just a little bit longer, like Bending says, a Magnum 40. Okay, that's interesting because
I've always understood it that 40 mil is to 10 mil what 9 mil is to 357 Magnum.
Yeah, I suppose. Well,
like roughly
so
equivalent.
A 9 mil is a pretty short case, where a 357 Magnum is probably half again as long, right? As a 9 mil case.
Yeah, I don't know exactly
same bullet diameter, roughly.
Yeah, with 40 and 10, I don't know what the case difference is.
Jeff Barron again says sort of no rim on the 10 mil. Okay, so the 40 is a rimmed cartridge. Fuck, I suck with.
I don't know the 40s. I don't think the 40s.
I thought of 40 Smith was basically like a 45 ACP, just different diameter. But by what Jeff is saying, that he's implying, or at least what I read, that the 40 is a rimmed cartridge. Maybe. Spudman says 5.7 by 28 is a nasty little round. Now I've again, I don't know. Okay, I'll stick with Spud's comment. I've heard this multiple times. I've never looked into it. That 5.7 round. I think, what is that? It's a goofy looking little
there's
rifle.
There's a 40 and a 10
that. Okay. So the 40 is the smaller one?
40 is the smaller one.
The 10 mil is the longer one. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I couldn't tell you any of your specs, but
yeah. Interesting. I wonder what the charge weight difference would be between the two.
Let's find out.
You know what? I'm all my perceptions were shattered this summer. I took a pistol out, and I set out you got those little rimfire sheep and goats and pigs and whatever else, and I set them out at about 12 meters, and I shot at them, and I picked up several 9 mil bullets out of the ground from those damn things. And
sorry, you're doing show and tell while I'm showing my screen.
I am. Sorry. So you can see they're fired. I picked them out of the ground, and yeah, they're a round nose, but there's been no deforming at all at like 12 meters out of a 9 by 19. The only one that deformed at all was this guy that bounced off the ground before the target and then hit the target sideways and did this. So I'm thinking, fuck you, 9 mil. Like, what are you going to do against anything that I want to hurt? Nothing. Pretty disappointed. I need something bigger.
I've got your
A
answer
little
here
late for that, though.
I've got your answer for case capacity. 40 Smith & Wesson has 19.3 grains H2O capacity. And the 10 mil has 24.1 grains H2O capacity. So about
what was the
5,
40?
19.3.
Okay.
So just under 5
Oh, yeah.
more
Okay.
grains. Which is just over 5 more grains, which is significant when you consider that 40 is under 20 grains. So that's what, 20% more, 20% more capacity.
Right. Wonder what the 9 mil holds.
Well, I'll find out for
I
you.
got no. Well,
13.3 grains H2O.
I was just getting the water out for this guy. 13.
13.3. So exactly 6 more grains out of between the 40 and the 9 mil. Obviously, it's a heavier bullet. And then an additional almost 5 grains for the 10 mil.
Interesting. Bending Ballistics says 10 mil was developed for the FBI. They quit carrying it because people were breaking their wrists and getting over penetration. It sounds like a tape out of the White House.
I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Everything I've read is that they were complaining about
breaking
follow-up
wrists.
shots. Yeah, I don't think anybody was breaking the wrist. That they were complaining about follow-up.
The overpenetration, right? But the overpenetration has always been a consideration. That's why a lot of departments went to 9 mil, as I understand it, as I've read, that because of the larger calibers, that the calibers with more grunt would go through people and had the possibility of hitting people on the other side somewhere. Whereas a 9 mil has trouble going through whoever you're shooting at. And we've all seen videos of cops shooting at people that are they may be jacked up on some drug, they may not be, but emptying mag after mag on these fucking perpetrators. And like a diminutive little 9 mil going, holy fuck, please stop.
It's interesting that we're talking about this. It was only like a month ago. Grand Thumb did a video on how lethal a 10 millimeter auto is. And he was shooting it at ballistic dummies, and it fucked up the ballistic dummy like badly.
Really?
Like it looked, and some of the rounds were penetrating quite a bit as well.
So maybe instead of a 4570, I want a 10 mil TMW.
I would convince Smith & Wesson to come out with a 10 mil takedown carbine, because those TNW arrows, they're like, mine is solid as fuck. Like it's such a simple little blowback design, and it's
right.
I've had that gun for I think 7 years now, and I have never had a failure. And I've put thousands of rounds through that gun, and I have never once had a failure.
That'd be a fun little gun, man. Yeah.
And I'm not saying I never will, but to this point, with thousands of, and usually like the most of what I've put through it, well, it's really been a mixture between Blazer brass, Blazer aluminum case, and I've never had a failure even with Blazer aluminum case, although that's all been post-COVID. And when I first got it, I had bought several 1,000-round packs of the CCI Spear Bulk 9 mil, and I put a lot of that through it as well. And it's just, I think it's the only gun I've ever had that I've never had a failure in, like not even one.
Really?
Yeah. But it's it's not easy to field strip. It's not easy to take apart and clean. And Joe, no, it's a direct blowback. There's no, and but I have had it to the point where it's been so long between rounds cleaning it that I've had it fling little specks of grime and burnt gunpowder at me, not burning, but burnt gunpowder back at me.
Right.
And then I've had to I've cleaned it again, and then it stops doing that. And it's still no failures.
It still kept running though.
Yeah. Yeah. Not one failure.
Yeah.
It's an apocalypse gun for sure.
Oh. Do you think so in a 9mm though?
No.
So that scenario,
Yeah.
if shit did hit the fan, would you reach for that sucker when you're leaving the house?
Well, given what else I own?
See, this is tough because I know you would reach for at least one rimfire.
If I was going to be going out into the wilderness, yeah, I would. Because, I mean, but I would never just take one gun. I think that's a stupid, fundamentally flawed thought experiment, right?
I know.
I would absolutely take my BMR, my Bergara bolt action 22. That's a given, because let's say if you're going out and you're going to be surviving on your own in the wilderness for a little while, you're probably going to be hunting small game pretty reasonably often,
more so than big game.
Yeah, I would say definitely more so than big game, and a 22 is more suitable for that. And in our winters, the bolt action is just more reliable, in my opinion, despite the fact that TM22 is reliable as fuck. I still just by nature of a semi-auto versus a bolt action, I would take the Bergara. Now, the second rifle I would take would be my Sig Cross, hands down.
308.
308, hands down. And again, it's a bolt action, and it is my winter gun. So there's and I've taken that gun. How far was that out?
Yeah, you love that gun.
Yeah. How far was that? Is the furthest target at Nose Hill? I hit that
furthest one was 1,300 meters.
That's what I hit last year there. So I've taken that gun out to 1,300 meters.
Is that an 18-inch barrel on that thing?
It's an 18-inch barrel, yeah.
Fuck, that's doing real good, man.
But I mean, you know, being honest, and if I'm not honest, then Jens will pipe up and be honest for me right away. So I might as well be honest.
Yes, he will.
We fired about 20 rounds at it and hit like 3 of them. So,
right, but it is capable.
Yeah, and frankly, a large part of why we missed so many of them is because I couldn't dial out that far. The scope ran out of dial, so we were holding over. Right. The gun is more than capable of it.
Here we go. Sorry. Yes. Bending ballistics, I have to agree with him here. Shit hit the fan. Hypothetically, I'm taking my 9mm, 308, and a 5.56.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly couldn't think of a better stable. We did this before, quite a long time ago. Top 5 guns sort of thing, and my top was an M1A clone, M1A, M14, M305, whatever. 308 would be probably my top. Sean, co-host at the time, said that he would take an AR-10, which, you know what, I completely I forgot about, because we don't have them in Canada. And
I still wouldn't.
Damn it. You still wouldn't? Is that right?
Well, here's the thing. Okay. What kind of shit hits the fan are we talking about? Is this like an urban shit hits the fan?
Well,
that's you're going out into the wilderness. If I'm going out into the wilderness, I'm not taking a 5.56 at all, and I'm not taking a gas gun. Not in this climate.
That is a very tough, real consideration for sure. If you're talking winter exposure and all that kind of stuff, a gas gun can be a goddamn problem for sure. Mm-hmm. But let's talk a scenario like you're packing up to leave home. You may never get fucking home again.
And what's going on in the world? Like, what are the odds that somebody's going to be trying to kill me?
Well,
do I have
probably
to
good
protect my family?
If you may not get home again, odds are good that there's some real bad stuff happening in the world.
Well, in that case, I'm just not going to take a 308 then. I'm going to take a semi-automatic 223.
Why?
Well, if you have to fight people, you need something that has quick follow-up shots. 223 is a very common cartridge, and it's a very accurate cartridge. And the reality is, even if I need to hunt with it, you can hunt a deer with a 223.
I agree 100%. However, my mindset is a little bit different. I like a lot of that, and you know that we've talked about it before. Personally, I'm more of the 308 guy because, like what you were saying about the 22, the rim fire, more than likely, and I think you're really correct on this, that you're going to be hunting small game much more than you are big game, 100%. But I'll tell you, I can hunt small game and big game with a larger cartridge, whereas you with a 22 rim fire cannot hunt effectively big game. Now, I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of native people in this country that have shot a goddamn moose with a rimfire rifle. Successfully. However, the success rate is low. I'm, as much as I love 223, 5.56, whatever, I'm much more that one and done guy. Fuck it, hit him with all you got sort of idea. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's understandable. But more equals less in a way.
And I don't disagree with that at all. I'm thinking like very specific and frankly fantasy scenarios. Slingshots because rocks are free. So when I say a 5.56, we're talking about we're talking about fantasy scenarios when we're talking about 5.56.
Yes,
because the reality is, what under what situation, like if under what situation when I'm alone or it's just me and my family, am I going to be able to protect my family anyways? You're talking about like large groups, like you're an individual for Christ's sake. Now, if you know the group gets together and decides that we're all going to protect each other, then you should have a mixture of bolt actions that are better for longer range and 5.56. You know, or harder hitting, I should say, not longer range, and 5.56 anyways. In which case, like the whole thought experiment is just kind of moot, really, anyways.
So in my instance, at least, you have to understand, and you do, Chris, that I'm the way my mind works is in a situation like that would be separation. I'm much more that distance guy, right? So in an ideal, non-ideal situation, I would be in a spot where I would have good a good perspective over everything around me, right? And before needing that close range rimfire or short range 223, 5.56, whatever, somebody would be experiencing something not enjoyable long before those short ranges. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I completely agree with you on that. And if you're getting into firefights in an SHTF, you're the first one. You're the second one to die.
Yes.
All the purple hairs, all the purple hairs are the first to die, and you're going to be the second to die.
Fuck.
They
won't even get out of the fucking city.
Agreed. But neither will the fucking guy who thinks he's going to go gray man with his 5.56. You know, the first firefight that he gets into, he's going to get flanked because he's an individual. He's going to get he's done for.
100%.
I
It's the
think,
same thing that you teach, Chris, in your gym, is that the best way to win a fight is to fucking avoid it altogether,
yeah,
right?
well, the best way to survive is to avoid a fight. Exactly.
Okay, sure. You know what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
in the event that you have to engage in a fight, then you fucking bring everything you have.
And you better
That's
not be alone.
Well, yes, that's a
And
second consideration, but you swing the biggest fucking hammer the first time.
yeah.
That's it.
And let's also make sure that we admit that neither of us have any military fighting experience.
Zero.
Neither of us have any tactical firefighting experience. And if you're in a group of people, no matter how good the shooters are or how outdoorsy the folks are, if you don't have any tactical training, even as in within your group, if you don't have any tactical training, you should be avoiding shit at all costs.
Yes. I think that's missed on a lot of people when we talk about shit hit the fan stuff or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Um, I think people leave behind this idea that just get the fuck away.
Yeah.
Distance.
Well, and also ignoring the fact that about 90% or more of the realistic scenarios in the world, you're going to be safer bugging in than bugging out.
Yeah. Okay, and I've thought about this too. Chris, you and I, unfortunately, in many ways, live in a very popularized center.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much value there is in bugging in necessarily, because I would not sleep for weeks on end, and I'd be sitting at my fucking door in a chair with my shotgun with double buck.
But this is the thing, and I've seen a lot of I've had in-person
This,
discussions with military personnel, and I've seen a lot of analysis from military personnel, and they're saying that you shouldn't be bugging in by yourself
I know,
in any case. You should be picking a
yes,
home that has the best operational security already, and you should all be bugging in that property.
yes,
In which case, you
but
have
but the
like,
more you immerse yourself in a larger pool
mhm,
of of people,
mhm,
no matter their mindedness, whatever you want to say,
yeah,
uh, the less chance you have of doing well. But you know what, Mike's come up with a couple of really good points here. You should have a local community together. That's more useful. 100%, man.
yep,
He also says a community of like-minded individuals who have a various set of skills. I have a
yeah,
particular set of skills.
yeah,
Yeah,
agreed, yeah,
100%.
yeah,
You know what? But I've thought about this lots where, yes, I'm in the middle of this godforsaken fucking city. And if shit were to go south, you can bet I'm loading up everything I can and fucking off out to the farm.
the farm is a good
From
idea.
there,
Yeah,
from there, um, there's several people like you and Jens who know where that is and know that it's a place where you can actually uh let's say do something from,
mm-hmm,
and it's
yeah,
sustainable,
yeah.
and you don't have to be sleepless for weeks at a time sitting at your goddamn front door with that fucking shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
So
disagree with that
yes,
at all. Boy, what a tangent
yeah,
this
yeah.
was, hey?
It kind of was. I like it though.
I don't know how we got here, but Mike also
It's
makes a
good.
great point.
Roll.
In a zombie apocalypse, it's also a moot point up here because all you need to do is survive till winter.
Yeah.
And he's
How do you know? Maybe they come up with hybrid zombies.
except for this winter.
Zombies with
but really,
arterics.
as soon as they all freeze, you just go on a little walkabout with a baseball bat knocking heads off.
Well, sure. Grab yourself a a nice Gerber. What do you call that? Those long bush knives. What are they? Um,
Are you talking
where's
about
my
the
brain?
hatchets?
No, not
Hatchet?
a hatchet. Not a hatchet.
I just get a Louisville Slugger.
A bush knife. Oh my God.
Well, bush knife is a
I don't know.
word. I don't know what you mean other than that. You're talking about a Bowie knife?
Machete. Machete.
Is that,
Yukai saved my
didn't
fucking
I
ass
say
here.
machete?
Machete.
I said
Machete. No,
machete.
you didn't.
What did I say?
Did you?
I'm
Well, I
pretty.
completely ignored it then.
I'm,
I let you do it for you.
I'm pretty sure I said machete.
Machete.
It's possible my mouth didn't say what my brain was thinking
No, you
of.
said
But,
hatchet. I thought you said hatchet.
oh, I did say hatchet. My brain was saying machete the entire time.
That's all right. My brain was saying, what the hell are you doing in there? That's
Meow
it.
meow
I'm
meow
out of
meow
here.
meow 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 meow
You're
meow
right.
meow 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 meow.
Oh, shit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Um,
Frozen zombies.
yeah, the trip shotgun shell things you can get. Oh yeah, those are interesting. Have you seen those? Derek mentioned this. The trip shotgun shells you
Oh,
can get off of Amazon. They're a little
oh,
tripwire mechanism that when you can just attach it to
oh,
any kind of
ones
rope you
before.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it pulls
Yeah.
the little pin when it gets tripped, and when the pin gets pulled, it drops a firing
Right.
pin, and you have a little shotgun shell attached to it, and it fires the shotgun shell. Now it's not killing anyone. There's no pressure. There's no barrel,
Mm,
but
yeah.
you know that it's going to be loud as hell. But
All it is a warning system. And I'm thinking
yeah,
on 33rd Street West in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. Um, if I had those set up, all I would be doing is every 20 minutes through the night, every night, I'd be going out to reset those sons of bitches because some dumb zombie, which we already have wandering down this fucking street, is going to trip those suckers off.
well, you know what though,
And my little brown Latina girl is going, what the fuck are you doing? Motherfucker, get the fuck back here.
well, you especially are in a dense area because you don't even really have a yard.
We're dense. Absolutely. We're
Yeah.
dense. Yeah. Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
Derek says string them across your door and you can sleep them. No, I would not put it across my door. What I would is
Right.
I would put it on
Then I wouldn't have a door.
I would put it on the steps leading up to my front porch. I would put it on my back porch steps. I would put it at my back gate. I
Right.
would put it, all around there, but I don't think I would put it in the
I would
doorway.
have to construct a dummy door.
Yeah. And Mike makes another good point here. Also, thermal is likely more useful than NVGs. I completely agree with
Yeah.
that. You can get
Yeah.
thermal cameras with a USB attachment that you can use your cell phone as the viewing screen. And they're not like from what I understand, they're getting a lot better. The latest generation, like in the last year or so. Um, but they're not like your $10,000 units, but they're quite good apparently, up to like that 100-foot range, give or take.
Yeah, you know what? I've got enough 6 and 10 mil poly around here that I just kind of randomly blast through fucking walls and doors and then tape them up afterwards. It just doesn't matter in that extreme situation. You know what I'm saying?
Just gonna speed hole your house all up.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. High speed, low drag.
Yeah, high speed, low drag. Joel's also not wrong. A dog is the best alarm, but you better be
Amen.
stockpiling dog
Yes.
food because you can't be
I'm
feeding
I'm
your
gonna
dog
tell you
all your other food.
experience as a second best from that dog as the best alarm. I'm telling you, a little Latina girl is your second best, hands down. That that thing will fucking rip shit like you wouldn't believe. I hope she's
Uh,
watching.
yeah, well, I haven't seen her tonight. Usually she says hi when she's coming on. She might not be
You know,
watching.
it's unfortunate. Her ex-husband is Filipino, so she's very deeply immersed in that Filipino community in this area.
Mhm.
And one of the ladies she's known from that relationship for years and years now. had died. So it's been a like a
Oh,
week long of prayers and viewing and funeral today and all that kind of stuff. So it's
gotcha.
yeah, good woman.
Well,
Yeah,
it's here's an interesting thought, Rooster. We were talking before the show tonight about doing a short show,
we were.
and we just hit the hour and 30-minute mark.
Yes, sir.
So maybe should we call it?
Sure. It's been fun. And I'm really grateful for the people that chimed in through the show. It gave us a lot of fuel, clearly.
So I don't know what our viewers think, but I think sometimes our best episodes are when it's just the two of us.
I think it is too. You know what? We try a lot when we have guests on to concentrate on whether it's their retail products or manufactured products or whatever, and we kind of try to stick to a single vein when we have them on, and it doesn't necessarily allow us to go off on tangents like we do when it's just you and me and the
Mhm,
audience.
mhm.
And
Well,
it's
and
I think that's what makes it dynamic.
yeah,
You know,
the shows with just the two of us do get less views though. So I don't know if people aren't enjoying them as
oh, is
much,
that
or if
right?
people just don't tune
Yeah,
in
yeah.
because people tune in for guests. Maybe I don't know. But
Well, listen,
who
to
cares?
be
Sometimes
honest,
we need to do
when
shows for us.
you're right. So when we have people on from the industry, they want to hear about industry stuff. I think
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
lot of people, right? Um, when it's just you and me, a lot of people know it's just going to be a lot of this kind of shit,
Hmm.
and a lot of people I think are not necessarily interested in the 70 tangents we go on these shows. The hardcore guys that are here every time,
Yeah,
they get some entertainment out of our
idiocy.
tomfuckery.
Yeah,
Yes. So,
yeah.
and we appreciate you guys like you wouldn't believe. Uke, Alberta Rob, um, Spudman, and Derek and the oh my god, I'm half fucking drunk.
Well, there's Mike.
Mike, thank you.
There's
Here
Joel.
all the time. Yenzi, of course, every time,
Yenzi. Yeah,
except when we do a dedicated 22 rimfire episode, Jens is like, nah, fuck you guys. I'm out.
yeah. Well, or
Joel
if
Anthony shows up almost
yeah,
every time.
yeah,
Man, you got to thank those guys.
yeah, absolutely. And for everybody else, if you're still watching us, make sure you give us a thumbs up, whatever the hell else on whatever platform you're watching on. If you guys would like to find us more on the web, you can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/BS podcast. We're on YouTube at BS_podcast. We have our own website, bspodcast.ca, where you can find a lot of our videos and content. You can email us if you want to, info@bspodcast.ca. And some of you may or may not know we've started a knife company, Storied Knives. Storiedknives.com, STORIEDKNIVES.com. Our first knife out is the Gardner knife. A lot of you guys have already got them, and you seem to be enjoying them. We appreciate everybody's support. That's awesome. And you can send an email to Storied Knives if you want, info@storiedknives.com. And as usual, Kurt just kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to elaborate. A massive thank you to all of our sponsors and our viewers. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show in the first place. And we're talking about Shane and Steve, Miles, Carrie and Cappy, Duncan and Rob, Phil Odell, Doug and Nisa, Vanya and Carly, Oscar and J.R. Cox. Thank you all an immeasurable amount.
And we cannot forget about Bending Ballistics and Boom Country Hydrographics. Listen,
Yeah.
those guys are here with us all the time.
Yep.
Seriously.
They are. Yeah.
And it's great to have them. They are a good source of entertainment, those fuckers.
But it's fun. It's fun ripping on Bending so that I'm not
It
being
is.
ripped on for once. It's just a smoke show to take all the heat off of me.
I just like to see him every once in a while to see how his beard is progressing, because he went from this long when we first knew him to this long, and
Yeah.
now he's here somewhere, and it's yeah. And then Boom Country, well, he hasn't shown his face, but he shares with us his 25 cal creation, and I'm expecting an email after last show. He Boom Country said that he was going to send us an email for an update of that 25 cal Wildcat, and he hasn't yet. I'm a little bit disappointed. A couple of times when I was mudding my kitchen and dining room, I thought, I should send Boom Country a message to get an update, but I didn't.
Oh, Bending
I
says,
think you should.
yeah, you go ahead and say that. What are you saying there?
Bending says it's all fun, and next show I'll do a shave it all off. Okay, I don't know if I want if I want to witness the action or just the result. Just the result would be good. Yeah, we don't necessarily want to. It's kind of like those unboxing videos. Like, fuck off with your box. Show us the shit inside the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So
I hate that so much. Here's the box. I'm gonna open the box now. Show you what's in the box.
You know what's stupid though is that people eat that shit up. These unboxing videos.
I know.
But for me, it's two things. Number one, it's the unboxing.
Have work to do.
I know, right? For me, it's the unboxing. Fuck off with the unboxing. And number two, it's whenever they say it feels good in the hand.
Fuck.
I've never
heard. How does it feel in the mouth? You fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw some KY on it and then tell me how it feels.
I have never once heard a YouTube reviewer say, "Oh, this doesn't feel good in the hand."
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, no show next week. It'll be in between Christmas and New Year's. I know that, but there won't be a show next week. So Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Have a cracking Kwanzaa or whatever else you're celebrating over the next couple of weeks. And I guess the next show will be Friday, January 5th of 2024.
That's right. Look at that. I'll be up at sight again.
You son of a bitch.
I love my life.
Hold on a sec here. It's got, never mind.
What do you got? Do it.
Too late. Okay, then. We'll see everybody in the new year. Okay, then. Have a really, really
Merry
great
Christmas,
holiday.
you sons of bitches.
All right.
Because I have a shotgun and rifle that I use and 22 gauge that I use for ptarmigan, moose, and black bear.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
You're listening to your weekly dose of BS. Ballistically speaking. The Ballistically Speaking Podcast.